Thank you for joining us. Hey everybody, welcome to the Away Games, the Chicago Cubs podcast. We have a fun guest here today. We've got this is a thing with minor league ball that starts. We see y'all's names, but we don't hear it pronounced early because we don't get it on TV yet. So DJ, do we go Herz or Hertz?
Herz with the Z.
DJ Herz.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yep. Nice. Thank you for having me here. And a lot of people just call me DJ because it's short for Davidjohn. So, and then I've heard DJ just go to Deej. So
shortened to Deej. Yeah. Smaller. See, you're almost the new Ben Zobrist of names, I guess. You know, for a long time, if a guy played three positions, it didn't matter if he was good or not. Everyone was like, "This is the next Zobrist," just because he does multiple things. Yeah. Now we've got positional flexibility with your name. Which one do you prefer?
DJ's fine.
DJ's great. Now, and Davidjohn, I mean, obviously that's a unique name. There's no space in between, right?
No, it's lowercase J, no space.
What's the story behind that?
No, just my parents, I guess.
They were torn between David and John, and they were like, you know what? Let's just do both.
Yeah, yeah. My dad's name is John, though. So.
There we go.
Gotcha. I guess they just put the David in front of it.
That's a good way to do some representing the dad, but also to give it a bit of originality. But yeah, you're joining us from you're in Myrtle Beach right now, right?
Yeah, we just got here yesterday at like 7, so we just moved into the hotel and getting used to everything. But yeah, it's nice so far. They got us on a beachside view. Can't complain at all right now.
That's lovely.
Yeah, we can literally see like the reflection of the ocean behind you in the door. So I'm slightly jealous. Oh my God. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. From all the stories you hear about minor league or spring training facilities, that looks pretty good.
This is a great one for my first time going to full season. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're putting you up. So you're staying in a hotel, you said, right?
Yeah, the first 3 nights were in a hotel, and and then I think we got to find our own living. But I think for this first month, I think we're just going to stay up there because we got 3 away series, so we're going to be on the road for most of the month, and then we'll have 1 home series. So I think most people are just going to stay in the hotel for the first month, and everything is so booked right now with Corona like decreasing and people are trying to move to the beach. So
sure.
Places are hard to find right now. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting time to try to find a home. Also, the fact that you're in a destination as a hometown where people are like probably specifically going to right now. Like it's borderline spring break. It's also busting out a COVID break. So it's like summer. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of like spring break South Bend. So it's a slightly different situation.
What a shitty spring break movie that would be. And I like my parents went to Notre Dame. I've got love for some of that, but yeah, that would not, it's a very different sort of vibe, I guess.
No, I bet 100%.
DJ, I gotta ask you, is that a Carolina Panthers shirt you're sporting there?
Yes, sir. I've had my parents have had season tickets since I was like 1 or 2 years old. My dad would carry me on my back or on his back, and I would go to those games since I was super young. So
that's great. Fan. Well, Kevin and I are both Bears fans, and we're pretty happy right now. How are you feeling about the draft?
I think they took a cornerback the first round, and I wasn't too happy about it. I wish they would have got Justin Fields. That's who I was hoping Carolina was going with, because I don't think Teddy Bridgewater's the man. He's good, super good, but I don't think he's the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, long-term wise. The upside, I guess the upside of the Justin Fields pick, which we're both Chicago guys originally, we're in New York now, but we're Chicago dudes originally. You eventually, everything goes well. Maybe you and Justin Fields are hanging out now in the same town a few years from now.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
But
he's gonna be their franchise. I think he's gonna be really good. I just think he's like a winner, so I think he's gonna be awesome, especially for the Bears too.
totally. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kevin and I are both in our 30s, and the best quarterback we've seen in our entire lives is Jay Cutler, which is not a good sign. So if that's your team's best quarterback, you're not doing too well.
Yeah, y'all quarterbacks get a lot of hate.
They do. And we've at least brought it's been a diverse kind of hate, because it's like Mitch seemed like a perfectly nice guy. It wasn't he didn't draft himself second, like, so
Yeah.
that's not and I guess Mitch was he was from
Chapel Hill.
that's right, Carolina guy, and that's where you would that's where you were going to go, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
what was the like recruitment process, recruitment and then being drafted process like for you?
So the recruitment process was just like being in the right place at the right time for me. It was like I just finished my freshman year in high school, and I was trying to play with this team that was really good. They were like 2 years older than me, but they were like one of the best teams in North Carolina, and they were going to let me hit and pitch, and that's what I wanted. I didn't just want to pitch; I just wanted to hit too.
Yeah.
And,
Well, Shohei action.
Yeah. And I think it was Hurricane Matthew that was coming through the whole East Coast. I can't remember, but it was really bad. And we had a big tournament up in Florida. I can't remember what tournament it was, but and we wanted to really go to it because it was our first tournament with them, and like a lot of scouts were going to be there. And so this is when Hurricane Matthew was coming down when we're trying to go up to Florida. So we were going straight through it. And there's like trees in the middle of the road, rocks hitting the windows, wind blowing everywhere. But we ended up making it pretty fine. It was a scary, like, 8-hour ride. Jesus. And we get down there, and I'm scheduled to pitch. And the coach was like, "Holy crap! I didn't expect you to be here. I played the first game. I think I got a hit." And then the very next day, I'm supposed to pitch after this guy was a big, huge recruit. His name was Owen White, and he was like the 3 pitcher in the nation. He was still uncommitted as a senior, or he's like a 2018. And I was supposed to pitch after him, and he brought like all the scouts there because he was still uncommitted. And our coach was like, "Hey, I want you to pitch after him." And after that day, I did really good as like going into my like sophomore year. It was after my freshman year going into a sophomore, but it was in that summer, so it was in the middle. And I pitched really good, and after that game, it just blew up after that. And I remember driving back home, coaches calling my phone. We had to pull over, had to talk to them.
Wow.
And then I think like 2 weeks later, I committed to Carolina because the offer they gave me nobody was going to beat it. And Carolina was like a dream baseball school that I could go to, even though I was a Duke fan when I was growing up.
Sure.
That's a good look by your coach. I mean, it seems like your coach deliberately knew, like, all right, these scouts are here. Like, I'm gonna put DJ in next.
Yeah. So I think NC State offered me first, and then they were like, "Oh no, we're not about to move them to NC State." And so then they just made an even better offer, and it was just something I couldn't turn down. So I think I convinced them in less than a week after my visit.
Nice. It is funny how in sort of all parts of life that sort of supply demand thing can play out, where it's like as soon as one cool school wants you, everyone's like, "Hold on, no, I want." It's very much like the same thing if like a girl's interested in you and another girl finds out, that same thing. I mean, this happens with like Adam and I are stand-up comics too, so it's like this happens also just like in that industry where if you get booked on one show, everyone's like, "Yeah, no, actually, we also thought you were good," and it's like, no,
Yeah. But,
well, I imagine driving through a hurricane makes those long bus rides a little easier, at least if you're not driving through an active storm.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty used to those drives. Me and my dad were going every single week and just driving, and I can sleep anywhere, so I don't mind.
That's a big skill.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a very good skill, especially depending on who your roommates are going to be as well. Do you know who you're going to be, or if you're going to have roommates who you're going to be living with yet?
Yeah, I'm living with Sam Thorson. He's another super pale guy, just like me.
Nice.
I think it's the 2 palest guys on the Cubs. So.
And that's why they sent you to Myrtle Beach to get a tan.
Yeah. I don't tan. I get red.
Oh yeah, same. I yeah.
Putting three sunscreens on each 30 minutes.
That is, yeah. On the you're just hearing from the front office. You gotta get a couple of burns. Gotta increase a couple of miles an hour on the fastball. Work on the spin rates.
If you ever get put on the injured list due to sunburn, you're gonna get a lot of shit from your teammates. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that one happen.
And you were talking, and just in terms of scouting stuff, I also read that that you specifically that you were invited to Wrigley for a pre-draft thing, right?
Yeah, so that was my senior year. It was right after our playoffs, and we just lost to the team that beat us the previous year in the round before the state championship. So that team just had our number, and I got invited to Miami's pre-work day. They put me in a uniform, and I got to pitch in their stadium in front of Derek Jeter. That was really cool.
Totally.
And then the Phillies, Braves, but the Cubs was by far the best. They put you in full game uniforms with the pinstripes.
Oh, nice.
And they give you a hat, and they let you shag pitch. I didn't pitch that day because it was one day after when I pitched in the playoffs, so I just got the shag, but it was so awesome. They had the name on the scoreboard. They were playing the video, and it was just really cool. It was by far the best experience I ever had. And I think the Cubs one was the very first one, and that was the first time I've ever been in a professional stadium or anything. So it was amazing.
Oh, even like as a fan, you mean?
Yeah. So I've never been to like a real baseball game. I've been to college games, but not professional.
Wow. So what was that like walking out onto the field for the first time?
Well, it was crazy how big the stadium was, and like the depth perception with like the crowd and the like stands, it was just nuts. And seeing like all the moss and the ivy like on the back wall, it was just something surreal. Because I've grown up playing the MLB show, and even before when it was like 2K, MLB 2K. I just remember always loved playing on Wrigley Field. So it was just crazy to see it like in person for the first time. And also just being in like the neighborhood setting, just walking around Wrigley was insane.
Yeah, Wrigley's a particularly weird one because there aren't. I mean, I guess Fenway is similar to that in terms of just like it's not even quite the same, but it's as far as just being in an actual neighborhood. Like it's bizarre the first time you go to Wrigley. Like you're in a city block and you turn a corner and it just pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Just something huge on the block.
Yeah.
It's
so
awesome.
So when you were growing up playing the show, who was the go-to team you played as back then?
Oh, man. It was definitely the Red Sox.
Red Sox.
David Ortiz was my favorite guy. He was the man for me.
Oh, I mean that's a great choice. Also left-handed bat. I assume you're a left-handed bat as well too.
Right-handed.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
You're the Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. Yeah. Golf right-handed, throw left-handed though.
Okay.
So,
that's you got the same profile as Adam here does on the Gotham Comedy Club softball team.
Yeah, I throw lefty bat righty. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're slightly better at baseball than I am, but that's a tiny bit. I bet I'm better at tennis, but I have no idea. Maybe you're a great tennis player. Who could say?
I played a tennis. Not just hitting it back and forth.
Yeah. Now, I mean, usually when we have pitchers on, we ask them if they can rake, but it seems like the answer is yes already. So, like, what? Give me your batter profile. Like, who's a good comp for you in terms of you as a hitter?
Like comparison?
Yeah.
Oh man, I have no idea.
Would you have taken would you have taken some batting practice if they gave you the option at Wrigley? I'm sure you would.
Oh yeah, I would take VP every single day if I could. I think my senior year I batted .450 with 3 bombs.
There we go.
I hit a walk-off in the bottom of the 8th inning in extras against our rival team. It was awesome.
Oh man, that is. I mean, it is tough as far as like singular sporting moments go to top the walk-off feeling, I'm sure.
And it's a bomb too. So.
No doubter.
Yeah, no doubter.
So you are not in favor of the DH.
No, I've been waiting to hit.
Do you? Well, I guess that's something I'm not. I don't know. Do they at Myrtle Beach this year? Are you going to be able to hit at all, or is it mostly a DH league?
I don't think. I think it's just DH league. I think Double A is when you start hitting, but I don't know what they're doing with this universal DH rule. So
right, it's a weird. I mean, it's a weird transition year for a number of reasons. They're doing I know they're doing different rules at each level in a couple of different ways. And then I know in the league you're in right now, they just they changed who's in the league, so now it's different. It's a different 4-team league. You got the Charleston River Dogs, Columbia Fireflies, and the Augusta Green Jackets. Do you now? It's weird with this. I guess you haven't started playing yet, so you don't know who is your biggest rival. Do you know? Does Myrtle Beach traditionally have a rival to get really riled up about?
This is my I mean, I guess I was drafted in 2019, but this is still my first season, so I have no idea. I would guess maybe saying whoever's the closest, which I guess would be Charleston. So
could be Charleston. And do you know?
It sounds like DJ's biggest rival is the Sun.
Yeah. Oh, I tell everybody that. The Sun is we are not friends.
Yeah, I'm 100% Irish, so I am feeling that vibe for sure too. Do you know what a river dog is?
Maybe a dog from the river. No,
that's a very good guess.
That was my guess. Was is it a dog that fell in? Is it just like a normal dog?
Is the Green Jackets a reference to the Masters? Is that the point? Like Augusta National? Is that what that means?
That would be a good to put together right there.
It must be, but the thing is, it's Augusta, but it's not even that Augusta. It's a different Augusta. So these people are frauds. I'm picking the Augusta Green Jackets to be the ones that I'm most worked up about. They're frauds. They're not from actual Augusta. Also, the Green Jacket thing is very elitist. I don't like that. So those are the snobs, I'm gonna say. DJ, we're asking for your hitter profile, but for people who are getting to know you and starting to follow you right now, what is your legitimate pitching scouting report? I saw a list of a bunch of Cubs pitchers who apparently are throwing increased heat recently, and I saw your name on that as well. But yeah, give us what is the scouting report of DJ Herz, the pitcher?
So I guess they put their comparison when I first got drafted. They had a comparison of who you were to someone in the majors, and I can't really remember his last name, but I know it was Sean, who's a lefty from the Athletics.
Mania.
Yeah, Mania. That's who the comp was, I guess, with my mechanics and my release point and stuff. But just my thing, my fastball is obviously my best pitch. It's got it's some cut and some rise, so it plays best when it's up in the zone instead of low in the zone. And I've really been working with the curve lately. That's been a pitch that I've been just trying to get feel for, just throwing it every day, because we changed it from just a regular curveball to a spike curve, and that's been some work getting used to, but it's coming along really good. When I throw it for a strike, it's gross. But I've just been trying to dial in the command of that and trying to figure out where it goes. But the changeup was something I learned last year, and I've got that pitch almost down to a T. It's really nasty. I just got to be able to locate it a lot better, but it's coming along really good.
And
where you sit? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
I was just gonna say with the it seems like the Cubs organizationally are really into that spike curveball.
Oh yeah.
And why do you think that is, and how exactly are you throwing that exactly? What makes it a spike curveball?
It's the spike curveball, just bringing that index finger back up. I think what they're doing is it puts more finger pressure on the middle finger and the thumb, so it's able to get more spin and get the spin rate up. And so that's why I think they're trying to change everybody to that pitch. But yeah, that's basically the spike curve, is just bringing that finger up, put more finger pressure on, and just whipping it down.
And where, in terms of the fastball, where are you sitting velocity wise?
Velocity wise, I would say right now 93 to 95. But with games coming up and just trying to stay healthy through that spring training with all those players going down, I've just been trying to stay healthy, and that's it. But when the adrenaline starts pumping in, I'm hoping to hit 96, 97 for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, especially on the doorstep of the first, like, I don't want to say rookie ball is not a real season, but like your first full season ball.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you're excited to just actually get into a real ass game right now.
Yeah, I was talking with Sam, and I was like, dude, I think the last time I played in a real like game with fans was back in high school, which was 2 years ago.
Oh my God!
Because
Wow.
the AZL doesn't have really much fans at all. It's just like the scouts that are just writing notes and stuff. But yeah, it's been like 2 years since I've had fans, so it's crazy. Oh.
That's exciting. And do you know coming out the gate how you're going to be utilized? Are you going to be starting games? Are you going to be?
Yeah, I'm gonna be starting. So I think we got our schedules for pitching already. I got the Saturday game in Charleston. I think I got 3 innings.
Okay, sweet. So a week from as we're recording this today, So yeah, Saturday, May 8th. All right, that's great. So we can tell people that if they're checking out if they're subscribing to MILB.TV, I think is the service, which I understand is way cooler about less blackouts than the Major League version is.
Now you mentioned that Ortiz was your guy. Like growing up, did you have a favorite pitcher? Anybody you ever tried to like pattern yourself out?
Clayton Kershaw. He was the man. That was definitely my role model, like growing up. Always like Clayton Kershaw. And even in high school, I kind of tried like doing his. I wouldn't say it's like as to like a T when like he straightens his leg and then pops back up and goes. I tried doing that, and I did somewhat of it, but not to the extent that he does it. And I think I've tried doing my own thing now, just like being more fluid. And that's what the Cubs have been working on, just being athletic, because they think they know I'm really super athletic. So it's just working fast and just being athletic on the mound.
Yeah, and you played several sports, right? In high school coming up?
I played football and basketball. I was growing up every single day as a kid.
And what were your positions in those other sports?
Football, I was a quarterback, and basketball, I was point guard / shooting guard.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And I saw in one of those articles I read that you and your dad, and just in terms of like building up arm strength, you specifically would also, it wouldn't just be with baseball stuff, it was also throwing the football too, right?
Yeah. I remember some days we would go out and just throw the football as far as we could. Do it like 25 times, just trying to see how far we could get it out there. And that I feel like, and now a lot of people are starting to warm up with footballs. Pitchers are starting to warm up with footballs. I know Riley Thompson was doing that before he was throwing. So we started that at a young age.
What do you think is the longest you can throw a football? How many yards?
Oh man. As a senior, I got one play in the game. It was over 60 yards in the air, and that was in our 3rd round playoff game. That was by far my best of my high school career. But yeah, I'd probably say close to 70.
Damn.
I mean, that's a good bomb. Adam, do you know how far you can throw a football?
I don't know. 30, 40 yards maybe. But it's not going to be a spiral. It's going to be a knuckleball, 100%.
A duck.
Duck it out there.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I will break your fingers. 100% guaranteed.
A 40-yard duck is actually like pretty impressive.
Pretty good.
Yeah, a 40-yard duck is breaking the laws of physics in some ways. It's not supposed to do that. My friend Shane and I went out. We were just casually talking about like, how far do you think you can throw a football, or who could throw it longer? And we made a bet on a case of beer because I thought I could and he thought he could. And I was like 32 when I did this. I won. It was 45 yards, not terrible, but I don't think my arm has ever recovered. I'm just totally like literally. There's just a little right in the back of my shoulder. It's like that was it. That was one moment of glory. Got several Coors Tall Boys out of it, and that's it.
Well, you remember growing up, going to minor league games, they would have like the fast pitch thing. So you're just going from completely cold to throwing as hard as you can. And I did that. There was like, they have like the fan fest for the MLB All-Star game. I went in DC a couple years ago. And I did that, but I forgot that I'm in my 30s, and I don't think I've recovered. I think I hit about 62 on the radar gun throwing a baseball. I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah,
and then
I mean, you're dominating some little
I
leagues.
iced my arm for the next year.
If you're bringing 62 from the left side, there are you can dominate several like low-level pony league games. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. So and we saw that like just looking at your Twitter, DJ, you're it seems like you're a sports fan in general too. I guess Adam was referencing that earlier with the Panthers. So what are your teams who are you following right now?
Definitely the Panthers. I'd say the Chapel Hill, UNC. Basketball, I don't really like watch NBA basketball, but I mean, obviously I got to be a fan of the Hornets. I really like.
So Miles Bridges can jump about 20 feet in the air. I don't know if you've seen any of that dude's dunks, but holy crap!
Crazy balls. I don't know if y'all know Dennis Smith.
Oh yeah,
he used to be on the Knicks for a bit. Yeah,
I played basketball with him when I was growing up, and my dad and his dad are really good friends. And he had this other buddy named Quay Parker. He went to Tennessee, but I played with them growing up as a kid a lot. So because he's from Fayetteville too. So
yeah. Can you dunk?
Oh,
yeah. You can.
I assume so.
Yeah. I got to get warmed up though.
That's one of the great regrets of my own high school basketball careers. DJ and I are listed at the same. I'm also 6'2", 175. I feel like you've put on a little muscle since then.
I'm like 195 now.
195? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a weird question to ask athletes when they're, when they are like just starting off, but are you still 6'2"? Are you still growing vertically?
I would say I'm probably 6'2", but in cleats 6'3".
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, exactly. And in the high school basketball program, I'm getting measured with the shoes on for sure. I basically got to the point where I could sort of drop the ball over the rim and then pull on the rim, but I could never cleanly get it down, and that is like a recurring dream I still have. Like still trying, like I want to cleanly dunk once.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam.
Were you ever at a point where you would have considered trying to play like college ball or move forward with other sports, or was it pretty clear at a certain point that baseball was going to be the thing?
I actually thought me and my dad thought basketball was going to be the sport, because when I was growing up, like till like when I got committed for baseball, like the beginning of my sophomore career or sophomore year of high school, we thought basketball was my sport. That was the sport I was like practicing every single day. Like we were shooting every single day. That's when I had like a really, really good shot. I was playing with guys that were going to Duke, NC State and stuff. And I was making those like really big like AAU teams that they would call now.
Yeah.
But baseball was something I never really like. I mean, we hit every single day. Even after tournaments, I would be like, Dad, let's go hit some more, because I wanted to be a good hitter. But pitching just came so naturally. I never really even practiced it. I would just toss with my dad, but it would never be like work on mechanics. I never even had like a pitching coach or anything. So that's why I chose pro ball, because I just want to learn as much as I can instead of trying to have win. And if you don't win, you get taken out or stuff like that. So, but yeah, I thought basketball was definitely going to be my sport. I was in the gym shooting every single day, and I was hitting baseball. But when I started growing up, pitching just came so much more natural. And it was a sport I just took off with. And at the time, sophomore year, I kind of stopped practicing and shooting every single day. And I was only shooting during in season. And but baseball just pitching came so naturally to me.
That's great. Dope. That's great news. Great news for us so far. For sure. That's cool. Have you gotten to, in terms of the guys who are on the Myrtle Beach Pelicans roster, because they just announced all the rosters for each level. Are these dudes who I looked, and I think you're the fifth youngest guy in Cubs full season ball right now. So. Okay. So you're definitely on the younger end of I mean, the whole system really when it comes to full season stuff. Are these dudes that you mostly already know from rookie league ball?
Yeah, like I played with, or actually the only person I played with Espinoza. I like Espinoza is very advanced throwing. He can throw any pitch at any count he wants, and he's got confidence with every single pitch. He's not going to walk a lot of people. Who's the other one? Ed. I know I haven't played with Ed yet. This will be my
With that Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Santana guy, I think he's younger than me, maybe. But
Oh, the guy who from the Darvish trade, Yazan
yeah.
Santana. Yeah.
He's so smooth. Who are the other young guys? I know Gallardo, but Gallardo was in Eugene when I was in AZL.
Right. There's a catcher. Oh, and there's a catcher.
Aliendo.
Yes, Aliendo is young.
Aliendo, yeah. The Cubs. I was fortunate enough to go with Chris Clark, Darius Hill, Ryan Jensen, Cole Franklin to the Dominican for an ambassador trip, and that's when I met Aliendo and Yohendrick Peniago.
Yes, yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah, you could just tell those guys were on a different level down there. We spent a week out in Dominican just to see how they lived and their training facilities and work out with them, and that was a really super cool experience. But yeah, me and Peniago, we were good friends up there, and so I was with Aliendo. I remember I bowled with Aliendo that one time we went down there, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, those guys are really good for their age.
That's cool, and it's cool that you got to take that trip down there. That was pretty soon after the draft, right? That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was 2019 when we were going to strength camp.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like in October-ish, November, somewhere in there, wintertime.
Okay.
But it was still so hot in the Dominican.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Like, I don't know if you've traveled a lot out of the country, but like, what was it like for you going down to DR?
That was my first time. It was very cool to experience to see how they lived, and like it was just like wild over there. It was just like all the driving, just like all over the place. There's like not many laws over there. So
yeah,
it was
the drive.
it was very hectic, and but you got to see how like they grew up and why they're so like why they got so much energy, because this is everything for them. So it was really cool to see where they come from and stuff.
Oh, the amount of pride in baseball in the Dominican Republic is like, it's unlike anything you've ever seen.
I remember we were at a baseball field with the kids one day, and you just saw 3 goats running by, and the dude was chasing them, trying to get the goats.
It's almost like something that sounds like a promotion that a minor league team would set up, like catch the goat for free tickets. But it's like, no, these are real goats. We're actually trying to catch them.
We as Cubs fans have kind of a complicated history with goats, but now that we've won a World Series, everything's okay. So I think we're gonna be all right.
For sure.
Yeah, this is true. That would have been a promotion I would have been very sour on a couple of years ago. So yeah, we want to do let's do lightning round stuff before we let you get on with your day. What's your walk-up music or your entrance music coming in? Have you thought about that at all, or do you get to pick it?
I've got 2 songs right now, I think.
Okay.
I think I do need to do more listening, but I'm not final yet on it. But it's either going to be, these are my 2 options right now. It's Wolves by Big Sean.
Solid.
And then it's Got It On Me by Pop Smoke.
That one I don't know. Got It On Me by Pop Smoke.
It's I think he redid it's 50 Cent song. He redid it.
Gotcha.
Got It On Me.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
Both solid options. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to find something, but and there's also this song called Cadillac. Oh man, it's a country song. Cadillac, but the song's called Heat, and it's really cool for like pitching wise, and I might go with that.
Nice.
Don't know yet.
It's a fun thing to I mean, it's like things like that. I think when you're a kid growing up, that's the thing that you think about is like, coming out of the bullpen, Ricky Vaughn style.
The best one.
Yeah.
You want the best one.
Absolutely. And also, what did you do during like quarantine? Did you get into any TV, video games, music? What's your thing? How do you kill time when you're locked inside?
I will say I got heavy into golf because of Chris Clark.
Into golf.
Yeah, golf. I was playing so much over the off season. I just hate being bad at stuff. So it's
Yeah, me too, man. And I yeah.
Golf is not the sport to play there, but I love golf. I actually started getting not too bad. I've only been playing a year, and I started. And me and McAveen is also a guy that I'm really good. Me, Mac, and Clark are really good friends. And Mac is also just like me, super competitive, and it is so much fun playing golf with him because we're just going after it. And I think I shot a 81 over the spring training, and it was a lot of fun. But that was just because we were being so competitive about it. Most of the time, I'm just carefree playing out there, but get frustrated every once in a while.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's part of the experience too. That's
Yeah.
You got a better long game or short game?
Oh man, it all needs work.
Yeah,
I would say I love it when I'm having a good day, long day, but short days I would love to just have consistent short days because that's where it all matters in golf.
Yeah, when it comes down to the actual score of the thing, I feel like it's, you can, if you're playing well long game wise, but sucking short game wise, it seems like the score is a lie. Like I look up at the end, it's like, it feels like I'm much better than this. I don't know. I know you can't like score it emotionally, but.
Yeah.
And DJ, what's your walk-up music when you're walking up to the tee box?
When I'm walking up to the tee box, it just depends on the day. It's either country or rap. One of the two.
Just listen to it in your AirPods so you can be polite on the golf course.
On the speaker.
Yeah, it does seem like when it comes to baseball music wise, it's like country, rap, Latin music. I feel like that's your metal podium. Those are the top three you're hearing the most of. You don't get that much like pop unless it's like Anthony Rizzo messing around with Taylor Swift Bad Blood or something.
Yeah. Yeah, big fan of her when I was younger.
Oh sure, yeah, she's done great stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet, Adam.
You got more lightning round, Kevin?
No, that's all I got. Adam, you got anything?
No, man, this was super fun. Thanks for joining us, DJ.
No, I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
let me be on this. It's really cool.
Anytime.
Of course, it's our pleasure. And where can people find you if you want folks like follow you on Twitter, Instagram, or anything like that?
Instagram is I think DJ_Herz, and then Twitter is just Davidjohn Herz. To get both of them.
Sweet. Follow DJ AKA Davidjohn AKA Deej was I believe the third one.
I've got John David. I've got somehow they get my middle name John Patrick, but I don't know.
Well, that's when you'll know you've made it is when they're not saying Hertz. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like once they like that's how you know you're really good. Like people say I'm Antetokounmpo correctly because he's that good at something. You know what I mean? Like you gotta get to that point. So I think it's gonna happen for you.
Sweet. It. Let's catch him pitching first game of the year. If you got the MILB subscription, that's going to be May 8th, a 3-inning outing. That'll be exciting. And following those Myrtle Beach Pelicans with a pretty sweet roster. So yeah, thanks for joining us, DJ.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks again, man.
Yep, no problem. See ya.